You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cricket Podcast for our final pre-Ashes show. It's time for our predictions. We're going to be talking most runs, most wickets, player of the series, scoreline, hero, villain, and biggest flop. I'm Jack Hope. I'm joined by Max Rowe Brown. How are you doing, Max? Are you excited to talk more about the Ashes before the Ashes happens?
Yeah. The best bit about the Ashes is the run-up to the Ashes. Like I said the other day, it's like Christmas.
You think?
It's all about the preamble and getting excited for it, and then it actually happens, and you're like, oops.
Quite quiet.
England got battered again.
Quite quiet, this Ashes build-up, I would say. We've also got Ross on the show. Ross, are you excited about the Ashes, or are you not excited about the Ashes? What was the Ashes hype like in Japan?
You're going to be surprised.
Geographically, much closer to Australia, so no, did not. It didn't.
Non-existent.
Yeah,
gutting, absolutely gutting. But I'm excited about the Ashes. I've grown my moustache back in anticipation of the Ashes. It's for Movember, as I do every year. But I think it's Australian-like, isn't it? It's doing all right. Will all the Aussies have tashes again?
Yeah, you can get a mullet to go with it.
No, I don't think a mullet's really my
get a mullet,
bag.
move to Clapham.
Yeah,
no, not quite sure on that one. But I'm excited, and I think Max, you are right. The anticipation is very exciting, and then when it's about 2:00 in the morning and England are 4 wickets down, you'll be like, "Why did I get excited about this again?"
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Before we start with everything else, 2:20 in the morning, first ball of the Ashes. Right at the beginning of the podcast, we used to do guides to how to do stuff in cricket. What's the guide to a 2:20 Ashes start, Ross?
That is bed a little bit earlier, alarm, watch the first hour's play, go back to bed, wake up at a normal time.
Okay, Max, what's your theory for a 2:20 start?
Go out.
Go out. Go on a bender.
Yeah.
I like the. It's a bit. It's how I imagine. The solarium business is for people in Norway. Like they love a tanning bed. I think I might be making this up. If you're from Norway and you like cricket, and you listen to this podcast, feel free to get in touch and correct me. But I'm pretty sure because it's dark all the time there, they like that because it gives them their vitamin D and stops them getting too sad, which is a problem for Norwegians.
Skin cancer. Yeah,
that's what I'm led to believe. Yeah, but it's better than being in the dark the whole time and then calling it quits, isn't it? Which is, again, Norwegians do get in touch to correct us, but I believe that is a problem.
The royal us.
Yeah, I think watching cricket in Australia is like the English version of that. You get to see some sun. Lots of people in shorts and t-shirts. Reminds you that good times will come again. And as long as you don't get too emotionally invested in the outcome of the cricket, then you have a grand old time. Look, before we get going with our predictions, I just want to say, make sure you click like and subscribe. We're going to try and do. We will hopefully be doing daily podcasts through the course of the Ashes. We did it last time. It was a roaring success. So make sure you get involved. Click like, click subscribe, tell your friends, friends. Put it in your cricket club's WhatsApp group. That would be fun, wouldn't it? If there was a way for different cricket clubs to get in touch with us somehow. We don't really use social media anymore. We've sort of retired from that. Well, I guess we are on Instagram. Find us on Instagram, which I assume is at the Cricket Pod. Let us know whether you've got any fans at your cricket club, and we'll do some shout outs through the Ashes.
That's good.
If we remember to follow through on that, which we might not. Hey, the only way to find out.
Email the cricketpod@gmail.com. See what happens.
Yeah, I would like to give out some shout outs to random villages across the UK. Let us know how you're watching the Ashes. Is anyone doing an all-nighter? Surely there's some charity all-nighters going on for the Ashes.
Do you need any special guests to do a live podcast? You're all nighter. for a small fee.
I don't.
I
quite
genuinely
like
don't
Ross.
think you could pay me enough for that to do an all-nighter.
For a large fee.
Yeah, right. Literally, I'm not going to be up watching the Ashes by doing it myself, right? I'll be in the morning.
I think the way to do it, you got to pick your battles, right? And you have to do that with Test cricket anyway. Like you can't sit down and watch all of it, every ball of every Test match. You can have a go at it, but it's quite hard to do. You need to pick your battles. I think you want to be looking beginning of the day, final session. They're your target.
Yeah.
Your target windows, and then like if it's a close series, you need to commit to the day that you want to stay up all night and watch. You can't be scheduling 5 all-nighters in the middle of December in Christmas period. Like your family are going to hate you.
I've got jet lag right now. It's awful. Literally, don't give yourself jet lag.
I know from a cricket podcasting point of view, what we should be saying is stay up and watch all the cricket and this, that, and the other. Go.
But then they'll go to bed at the end and they won't listen to our live show.
Yeah, get it from us. We'll try and schedule a way so that at least somebody has watched most of the cricket. And listen to our live shows, yeah, of course, as Max says. But also, don't ruin your relationships by watching cricket all night. Don't ruin your job by watching cricket all night. Don't piss off your family by turning Christmas into some sort of nocturnal Ashes fest. Pick your battles. Choose your days where you're going to commit, go big. Choose your sessions when you're going to put that alarm clock on. And then once you've done that, follow through. Don't be like, I'm going to watch day 4 and then don't do it. Don't wimp out. You have to have follow through. But that's the way to do it. As you would watch a Test match in the UK.
I'd quite like to know what snacks and beverages people will be having. Because you cut like in England on a Monday, you can't be sitting there caning beers, can you? At like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I just don't think that's going to be conducive.
Not unless David Boone.
I think if
let's go with a prediction show. Come on, let's go with a prediction show.
Exactly what you do. Right? Yeah. Look, the categories are most runs, most wickets, player of the series, scoreline, hero, villain, and flop. We'll do scoreline last. By the way, boys, it will be a snake draft starting with Max, then going to Ross, then going to me. For each of the categories. Ross is in charge. No, Max, you're actually the more responsible one, I think.
I have a Google Doc open ready to take down
this is what we want. Yeah, Max will record this so that we can revisit everything at the end and we can work out how many points I won by. Let's start with you then, Max. Most runs for the 25-26 Ashes. Who's it going to be? Get this draft underway.
Well, there's a low-hanging fruit there, isn't there, in the home side of old Steve-O. So that's a tasty option. But you know what? I'm going to go for the unforgettable cricketer that is Travis Head, because I feel like maybe with the Australian opening partnership as it is, perhaps Labuschagne and Smith will be got out a little earlier than you'd normally expect for an Australian side, and it'll not be until Travis Head comes in and the ball's gone a bit softer and not moving around that he will come in and make hay while the sun shines and rack up some runs. So I'm going Travis Head for most runs.
Interesting call. It's not been in a lot of form recently, so you've gone big there.
Though, mate.
Time to turn around.
I would say, I don't know if you'd agree with this, Ross. It's just the pick moves to you now. I would say a little bit of a make-up call after you bungled it last time by calling him a forgettable cricketer.
That's exactly what's going on. It's exactly what's going on, Jack. You've seen right through me.
Let's hear from Ross. Who's going to be the top run scorer?
I mean, I'm England through and through. I'm so many Lions. It's unbelievable compared to our last one, right? So
Zach Crawley.
So Zach Crawley was going to be actually one of my things. I've got to stick with Joe Root. He might not have hit a century in Australia yet, but the guy is aging like a fine wine. So I'm going to go with the obvious candidate, I think, from the England side, and that is Joe Root.
Okay. In the last Ashes series, I mean, there's been a lot of noise around Joe Root, and some of it's sort of justified. He was the 3rd top scorer in the last Ashes series. Like, it's not in Australia. I mean, he got 300.
He scored runs last time he was out. There was an 80, there was a 90 in there, I think.
Scott Boland did make him his bunny,
and
then Pat Cummins likes getting him out, actually. I'm going to talk myself out of this. Harry Brook was going to be my second choice. So, actually, do you know what?
Well, you got to make a decision.
One. Yeah, I'm going to go Harry Brook. I've talked myself out.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
A late move. Will he live to regret it?
God. Harry Brook.
Big.
The excitement started early in this draft.
Big. This is a tricky one. I quite like the idea of a Joe Root. Like, that's the romantic choice. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
3 centuries.
Even all of the Australians in the world want Joe Root to be the top scorer in the Ashes. That's a fact. But I think that Steve Smith Renaissance is... even though I know Steve Smith isn't as good as he used to be, any situation where the question is who's going to get the most runs and Steve Smith is an option, I have to pick Steve Smith.
You can't leave it. If we've left you the tap in, you can't put it wide, can you?
Well, it's Joe Root. It's a fair, like as you said on the England squad preview. Joe Root is a fair choice. He's probably the best batter in the world. He's got a point to prove. Australia are going to be without, for at least the first test, they're going to be without their 2 best bowlers.
Yeah, Cummins is probably not playing all 5 test matches, right? All the other 4. The other 4, sorry. So he's probably not going to play 4. So if he's lucky, he plays 3.
People with hamstring injuries, like, they don't always get better in 2 weeks. Like, it's one thing that even people who play amateur sport can compare with people who play international sport things like muscle injuries.
6 weeks, 8 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, you can if you've got a bad hamstring injury. You can't do the thing you're supposed to do for quite a long time sometimes. That plays into Root's hands. Root is a fair comment, but I can't take myself seriously as a man if I don't take Steve Smith seriously as a cricketer. And
now I want to take Joe Root again. This is unbelievable. Literally, this is how not to do a prediction show, ladies. You've got to have courage in your convictions. I'm all over the shop.
It's down on paper, Ross. It's over. It's closed.
I get most wickets first pick. I would have said Hazelwood. I think he's been tremendous, but with that hamstring injury, just too much risk associated with that. His draft stock has fallen massively, so I'm going to go with Mitchell Starc, who I think is now more likely to play all 5 tests, and even if he doesn't bowl as well as anyone else in the series, probably therefore more likely to take 25 wickets than any of the Australians, and I think they will take more wickets overall than England because I think they're going to win. So Starc is my choice there. Ross, back to you as the draw in the sandwich of the snake. The snake's the belly of the snake. That's what you are.
I've got a tosser. I've got.
You got a tosser?
3 in my head. Yeah, no, you are a tosser. Okay. Three candidates in my head. Scott Boland.
Okay.
Who is very he was bad in England. He was bad in England, but a lot of people have come over to England and been bad at bowling. Gus Atkinson, because I generally think he's really, really good, and Shoaib Bashir. So there's three candidates in my head there. I unfortunately,
the most expensive leading wicket taker in history is possible.
Yeah, I think England are going to be pretty formidable. I think. It's going to be an England slant to my predictions. I'm going to build this based upon my values and my vision for what's going to happen. So Gus Atkinson is who I'm going to go for.
Okay, I like it. Matt.
Yeah. So I mean, all of the logic that both gone with is exactly what I was thinking. I would have had Mitchell Starc first. Hazelwood would have been first if he hadn't been ruled out the first test. So I guess my options are going with Scotty Boland, who I was also trying to choose between him and Gus Atkinson, or thinking that maybe Hazelwood's hamstring will be fine, and if that is the case and he plays 4 tests, it'll be Hazelwood. But that's the
day-nighter is a huge one in this. I think on the prediction front on the wickets, that is 20. Like you could
take at least 9 in that.
Yeah, literally. But like someone could easily take a 10-fer in that game. And
yeah, I'm going to go with Scott Boland. Why not? Let's do that.
I don't like that. I think that's a bad pick. You've written it down now. No takes back, please.
Yeah, well, look, I think Hazelwood is missing this one Pat Cummins is going to probably miss another one. Hazelwood may well end up missing another one. So I think Scott Boland is quite likely to play 4 or 5 tests at this point. And again, volume could be king.
None of us considered Ben Stokes.
I did have Ben Stokes down. Yeah.
I think it's hard to pick an England player. We should have a bonus point system for brave picks, I think. We don't, and we're not going to start because, frankly, this show's already confusing enough, as we've demonstrated with numerous picks and then revocations in just the first 2 rounds. I do think it's difficult to pick an England player for an Ashes series where there's a chance that England only takes 75 wickets. Pick the best.
But Gus Atkinson takes all of them.
I mean, I'm looking at the last 2 series in Australia. I've got some stats up here. The most wickets an England player has taken is 17.
I mean, it's not the smart pick. It's not the smart pick. Well, Doggett can come well in, and literally the Greyhound, as Gillespie said, he was like, he could do really well. England do not like playing against debutantes, especially Australian ones.
But I'd also say this, Max, just to address the Boland point. I think Boland might only play 1 test. I think that's a possibility as well. I think if Boland is ineffective in Perth, Australia gets spooked by stuff.
Yeah, I don't know though. I think
they're a bit of a superstitious team. If he doesn't bowl well, and Cummins and Hazelwood come back in for the next test, they're not dropping Stark, are they? Stark would have to be injured for him to be out. So Boland's definitely going to miss the second test if they're fit. And if they bowl well in that,
well, the talk is they might go with 4 seamers in the day night.
Ooh, okay.
And Webster in the team.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but.
We'll see.
You're making me tap myself now, but I've written it down.
No, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get in your head to make the rest of your picks bad. This is all mind games. There's a lot of mind games involved.
Nah, Scotty B. It'll only take him 2 games to get 20 wickets.
Just to recap, most runs and most wickets. Actually, let's do player of the series first, and then we'll take a little break, and then we'll do a recap and then a little break. Max, you get this MVP for the Ashes, or player of the series. Potts. Who's it going to be?
Potts. He's not going to pick Matt Potts, is he?
Hopefully. That's what mind games will do to you.
Yeah. Well, best player, I mean, it almost always ends up with a batter, doesn't it? But the man at the top of my list is Ben Stokes. Because if England are going to do well, he's going to have to do almost everything for England. So, Ben Stokes.
I think that is the obvious player of the series pick. I agree with that. I think he is the clear favourite. Even if England lose 4-0, Stokes could be player of the series, I think.
At least in our eyes.
Yeah, and there is a question of whether we take the official player of the series or not. But it is perfectly possible that Stokes gets 300 runs and takes 18 wickets, which
would be a very, very good tour.
Would be a very, very good tour. But this is on the cards. That's not an outrageous thing to say. That would be him averaging 30 with the bat, probably underperforming, and maybe being England's best bowler, which is certainly a possibility. I mean, Max nearly picked him as top wicket taker. So Stokes, I think that's fair. Ross, what do you reckon?
I'm sticking with my England bias on this one, so sorry, Australia fans. But Joe Root is going to be there. So I'm hedging my bets between Harry Brooks' pick as the best batter, Joe Root as the MVP.
That is a hedge. We do award points
portfolio.
So you get 5 points for a correct answer, and then you get, I can't remember, it was 3, 2, 1 if they finish in one of the second, third, and fourth places in that category. So you could get Harry Brook finishes second in the runs and Root is player of the series. Good. I'm a bit worried. From a draft perspective not to have any Root capital.
Yeah.
I think that is if we were judging, you've definitely got some. Yeah, you got some Root Kashish. This is tricky. So there's all the players. Like, I went Mitch Stark for wickets. I think Mitch Stark could be player of the series as well, but I'm not prepared to double down on that. I think it will go to an Australian, because I think Australia are going to win the series, and this is how this normally works. And I'm not prepared to double down on Steve Smith as well.
He's going to pick Marnus. He's picking Marnus.
I'm not going to pick Marnus. I'm not going to pick either of them. I'm going to go heroic captain's return. Pat the Cum Dog Cummins wins player of the series in 4 matches. And I think that is a bit left field.
You reckon he's going to play 4?
I think he might play 4. Now, this probably hinges on England winning one of the first 2 matches. So this could go out the window. This could be an absolute
the comeback. The comeback narrative is a nice narrative.
Yeah,
I like
similar level of risk to the Boland pick.
Do you think he's going to do, because he can't play? Will he be on the boundary rope? Will he do something completely absurd? Will he go full Cristiano Ronaldo? Will that be the surprise thing that happens?
Jonathan Trott,
maybe. Was he allowed to come on and field for a little bit?
That'd be so bizarre. You've got a lumbar fracture or whatever he's got. I think 20 overs in the field would do you good.
Well, I'm just asking. No, so I've gone for Cummins. Let's recap then. Who are our picks for the top wicket takers, top bowlers? That's the same thing. Top bowler, top batter, and MVP. Max, and we'll take a little break and come back with the other categories.
Yeah, so for top run scorers, I've gone for Travis Head. Ross has gone for Harry Brook after much toing and froing. And Jack has landed on Steve Smith. Top wicket takers, Jack's gone for Mitchell Stark. Ross has gone for Gus Atkinson with his England theme. And I've gone for Scott Boland. And the best player, I've got Ben Stokes. Ross has gone for Joe Root. And Jack has gone for Pat, the Cum Dog Cummo Cummins.
I think we've got a lot of bases covered there. There's definitely there's definitely 4 Lions
risk
Crawley in the mix.
There's some safe.
We haven't got we've not covered off the Marnus Labuschagne return arc, have we? After being dropped and that kind of stuff, and him coming back in and hitting a load of runs, we've not got that covered.
It's just not worth making that play.
Ollie Pope going to another plane of a triple century and him hitting that, and then staying in the team for the entire thing,
doing nothing afterwards. Yeah.
In part 2, we do have the hero and villains categories, which will be subjective and will be mainly moments based. Obviously, the hero of the last Ashes was Zach Crawley for hitting the first ball of the series 4, and
heroic.
Did he hit a double century? Yeah, that was heroic. The villain was Alex Carey for being a coward and running out Johnny Bairstow.
Yeah, quite clear.
Cowardly behaviour. So we'll be, having to think about who could fill those roles in the next in this series. We'll also be doing score predictions and flop. So join us after the break.
You're listening to the Cricket Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Cricket Podcast, where we are doing our Ashes prediction in the classic snake draft format that all good prediction shows use. In part 1, we did most runs, most wickets, MVP. We'll now move on to hero, villain, flop, and our predictions for the scoreline. I think we get 2 goes on the scoreline because we need to cover quite a lot of permutations with the 5-test series. So, look forward to that to wrap things up. Hero or villain? What are you in the mood for, Ross? Are you feeling heroic?
Do villain first.
Villain.
No, do villain first.
Villain. So we said just before the break, this is really for the player who we collectively decide is the biggest arse of the series. In the last go round, it was clearly Alex Carey for the cowardly stumping, as I said before the break. I think other villainous characters, Broad for not walking that time, Ricky Ponting for having a go at Gary Pratt. These are all villainous, very villainous things. Matt Hayden just for being a villainous individual, I think would have taken it back in the day. And there's probably a few others that you can think
Was
of.
the punch up in the bar, wasn't there?
Punch up in the bar. Ollie Robinson was the villain.
Dave Warner would have been a villain, right? Dave Warner's been a villain.
Yeah, definite villain.
He still could
heroic stuff. There's obviously great performances and individual moments of exceptional cricket, that kind of thing. I'm thinking Ben Stokes at Headingley. That's like the gold standard of heroic stuff. But there are other
maybe the bin that Justin Langer kicked would be a villain in his eyes as well. Maybe that would be one of the characters.
It would be. Would it be in our
Bins
eyes?
would argue that Justin Langer is the villain.
Yeah.
Well. Anyway,
heroic.
Is it Max to go first, or is it you to go first, Jack?
I think it's me to go first. Right, from a villainous point of view, I don't think this guy's going to play a major role in the series. I think we've already talked about how he might not play in the day-night match. However, he does look quite villainous. He's previously on record as saying he's the kind of guy who wants to end English careers, and I think that is a villainous act. It is, of course, Nathan Lyon. I don't expect him, to be honest, to have a huge impact on the series, but when he does, I expect it will be in a villainous role. That's what I'm taking. What he'll do, I don't know. It might be his last home Ashes, and he'll probably want to go out in style. I reckon there'll be some pretty loose sledges thrown out by him. I reckon he's the sort of person that would take one of those catches where he kind of knows he dropped it and claim it. I don't know him personally, and that's massive slander, but that's what I'm thinking. Ross, villain. Who do you think the villain of the Ashes piece will be, and what's your motivation for your selection?
I don't like boring Test cricket now. I literally like Bazball. I've drank the Kool-Aid. People who want to sit and bat a lot of time and don't go anywhere run-wise bores me to tears. And unfortunately, Usman Khawaja falls into that category of him happily facing 150 balls for about 35 runs. I'm not here for that kind of cricket. However, I don't think he's going to be good enough to actually face 150 balls in this Test series. So I'm not sure he could fully get as my villain. I think who's going to be villainous for us is one of the debutants. So from an England perspective, whether it's Doggett or whether it's Weatherald or whoever's going to kind of come into this side, I think England like to panic against new people. And so I'm going to say that Doggett will be a villain to this England team.
That is a pretty far out selection.
That is right.
You've gone for a guy who might not play. But I like it. That just because he's not on the pitch the whole time doesn't mean he can't do villainous things.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know what his media credentials are like.
No, neither do I. It's a complete stab in the dark. But you know,
it's largely a stab in the dark, isn't it?
There are no rules. Just to be clear, there are no rules to say that this has to be a player.
Well, quite.
Yeah.
Quite. Because you mentioned
it's
David
Michael
Warner.
Clark.
Go on, Max.
You mentioned David Warner, and he's already had a lot of shit come out of his mouth, hasn't there? So I've definitely got him penned as a potential villain of the piece. I don't know. I've got a couple of ideas. I can see Harry Brook being cast as the villain, both by Australian and English media. Perhaps saying some really stupid shit, and the Aussies getting really riled up, and also
Ben Duckett falls into that category.
Hooking out to deep square leg when he's on 40 and England lose the game and everyone blames Harry Brook. I think that's a very plausible.
That will happen at least once.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Agnew will cry. So I'd say that's more heroic than villainous.
I actually had an idea from one of your debutants, Ross, of Jake Weatherald, because some of the pre-Ashes interviews he's done, I think there was one with a grey cricketer he did after he got selected, about how he's really looking forward to being sledged by the Barmy Army, and he loves all the banter. That's prime I'm going to be a twat behaviour.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he could well end up doing something, but I don't know if he'll be around enough for it to matter. So I'm going to go with
Constance come back in.
Yeah.
Can I just have debutantes? It doesn't need to be Doggett or
No.
Weatherall. Can I just have
You wasted your
that's
pick, mate.
disappointing.
Mate,
I feel like I have.
I'm going to go.
Does Marnus Labuschagne count as a debutant? Or
I am going to go with Harry Brook as my final answer.
I think Brook is a great shout. To be honest, I think there's definitely some low hanging fruit. Steve Smith captaining a game.
Yeah,
something villainous.
at least one.
There.
Ollie Robinson, he literally is already a villain. He's gone over there and he's a net bowler for Australia, for fuck's sake.
He's winning. Ollie Robinson is currently winning.
Yeah, Ollie Robinson ahead.
Labuschagne for being Labuschagne. Certainly. I do want a bit of finger pointing. I do want that to happen. That's what I want. Yeah.
So you went Lion, didn't you, Jack? Just to
confirm. I'm quite happy with my Lion pick. I'm surprised.
It feels to me as if your subconscious has taken over on that one, Jack. Actually, the whole episode before this was focused very much on Lions. Your brain can't actually separate the two.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe that was a terrible way.
And you said Gary Pratt as well. You know, Gary Pratt, Gary Lyon. Yeah. It's all. Yeah, you're confused.
Wow. No, I'm confused.
You've Darren Brown just
He's Darren Brown. He's in Will Smith's Focus. That's what he's in.
Right, heroes. The other side to the coin of human life. If you believe in the moral message of Star Wars. Max, who's your hero of the Ashes?
This is tough, isn't it? I've only got one man written down at this list, and
it's not that tough, then, is it? Just read it out.
I'm not going with Stokes because I've gone with him as the player of the series. So I'm gonna have to delete that and think of something silly. I like the idea of Ollie Pope scoring a triple century. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy. So that's definitely. I don't know. I mean,
that's like wet dream worthy for Surrey fans.
Would it be heroic if Joe Root scored 4 centuries and put it all to bed and led England to a win? I think that would just be Joe Root being Joe Root, wouldn't it? So
it's quite a high bar for Joe Root to be a hero, isn't it?
You know what? We've talked about it a lot, haven't we? So I think this is the time to get Zach Crawley into the fray.
Nice.
Okay. A Zach Crawley double ton to win England a game off like 200 balls or something, 250 off 200 balls, something absolutely ridiculous.
Imagine he does that on the first day. Imagine Zach Crawley literally hits a double century in a day.
That would be quite incredible. I mean, of the players that could do it, Crawley is one of two.
Two?
Yeah.
Maybe three. Travis Head and Harry Brook, I think. Maybe have got it in their locker.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was going to say.
All right, so
England Open.
Okay. I've gone Zach Crawley.
Okay, go
on. I'm going to go for Jamie Smith. I reckon there's going to be some rear guard.
Another wasted pick. It's another wasted pick. He had such a good first half of the draft.
Jack's going with Gary Lyon again. His brain's broken.
So for heroic, I think that there's going to be a lot of rear guard action in this, and I couldn't go for Gus Atkinson again. I couldn't pick Bryden Cast, but there's going to be some lower order runs that are going to be absolutely essential. And I think that Jamie Smith will end up winning England an absolute crunch match, and it'll be an absolute heroic back to the walls job.
Okay. Look, if that happens. I don't think
Ross gets points.
Yeah, we're all trying to predict the future.
That is the objective of the podcast. In a nutshell, that's what we're here doing.
Look, past performances mean nothing. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't.
They call him Rostradamus for a reason.
Yeah,
I've called a couple of things right, and you've laughed at me.
Okay, like what?
When I said CSK were going to win the IPL, called that right, didn't I?
Oh, it's not that outrageous, was it? It's close shop.
Anyway,
look, who could be a hero? I don't think I've got. So there's some big misses on my list of things that you need for a good Ashes prediction draft. I've got no Stokes and I've got no Root. So I basically am in a corner here where I have to have one of those two so that I can finagle some points.
Oh, sorry.
Look, it's not. Don't blame me.
Let's have a bit more respect, Ross, shall we?
You think when we do a summary of an entire Ashes series, that we think that Doggett, a player we couldn't pick out of a lineup.
I don't even know if he's actually going to play.
He's going to be.
He might be. I think he's going to play the first test at least. So
and you think there'll be specific circumstances in one of the tests, which would have to be like the 2-all final deciding test, for Jamie Smith to play a heroic innings rear guard.
He could also make some brilliant catches in his position, or do something.
Right.
So
Wasted your picks, mate. Like, I'm thinking bigger picture. When we look at the series as a whole, we're going to look at
he
heroes.
could in between games, if England are at the beach, he could save a drowning child on Bondi Beach while England are out having a nice time. That's also possible.
There is some sort of wild card thing that could happen along those lines. That is definitely true. I think I like Stokes here because I think England can lose the series and Stokes can still be heroic. He just does heroic stuff. Like at some point in the 5 matches, Stokes will do something heroic. That's absolutely for sure. Batting on one leg because his shin falls to pieces or something like that. Like scoring a century.
Chris Woakes should have been the hero from the Arsenal, right? But batting in
exactly. Yeah, like it's on the cards. I am a little bit injury concerned with Stokes. I think you can say the same for Root. Root has hit 2 or 3 tons and come out as the hero of the Ashes, even though England lose 3-1. Like that's certainly a possibility. But I'm going to go with Stokes. Right. So what have we got? What are the categories remaining? We've got flop,
and score.
We've got score. Right. Let's speed things up a little bit so this doesn't end up being 3 hours long. For flop, I'm going to go fairly big. I'm going to say Scott Boland. I'm going to back England to take down Scott Boland. Ross, over to you.
I'm going to pick Usman Khawaja.
He's a wombat. We put him in the wombat category of fear, and you're okay.
Last time he put England to the sword, right? He hit what, 2 centuries? He literally completely revived it.
I wouldn't like to have my head cut off by Khawaja. I think that would be a very slow, excruciating.
He's probably tried to do it with a cricket bat. It wouldn't even be with a sword. That's how blunt that thing is.
Khawaja, I kind of like that.
That is beheaded by a cricket bat. That is an awful.
By Usman Khawaja.
So blunt.
That is horrible. I like Uzi, but surely he's over the hill now. Surely.
Okay.
Jofra Archer round the wicket to the right, the left hander. Oh, written.
Yeah. Max.
Fair assessment. I had a thought very similar to what you said earlier about Ben Duckett, Ross, with him trying to cut everything and the ball rising and him nicking it through. I can see that being a repeat. A repeat prescription for the England opening pair, but. I'm not going to go with Ben Duckett because I'm going to bring out the true 3 Lions spirit in this one, and I'm going to go for Gary Lyon.
The man who famously gets Ben Stokes out all the time.
Yeah.
Ollie Pope
He may well still get Ben Stokes out several times in this series, but not before Harry Brook has launched him for 6 consecutive sixes.
Did you have Brook for hero?
No, I did not. No. Zach Crawley could also hit Gary Lyon for 6 consecutive sixes.
Because you could win. I think you would win
beautifully, wouldn't it? With that one.
Yeah. You could double win in one over.
In celebration at the other end, Harry Brook pulls his trousers down and moons Gary Lyon. The whole thing.
It's going to be indecent exposure. That's going to be the.
I thought you were going to say something funny like does the worm, but.
Gets his worm.
That wouldn't be villainous, would it? That wouldn't be villainous. It has to be that. It has to be villainous behavior.
Oh, I see what you mean. What about he does the worm naked?
Let's not go down this rabbit hole. Come on.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So I think that's all the player categories done. Max, do you want to just summarise who we think heroes, villains, and flops will be before we do scorelines?
Yeah. So you went with villain first. Jack's gone for Gary Lyon. Ross has inexplicably gone for Brendan Doggett, and I've gone for Harry Brook. And in the hero category, I've gone for Zach Crawley because he hasn't been picked yet, and he's going to do something. Ross has gone for Jamie Smith for rear guard actions, and Jack's picked the safe option, if there is one in this category, of Ben Stokes. And for flop, Jack's gone for Scott Boland. Ross has gone for 39-year-old Uzi Khawaja over the hill, past it. And I've gone for Nathan Lyon for similar reasons, I suppose.
Could we keep a tally? Or we're just going to do it by vibes at the end? I think maybe bringing some data into this.
Oh, a test.
On our Patreon Discord, we should have a tally on each of the different things, and we've got a table that we're adding those things. Yeah. We open it up to the masses. We can vote it, and we see what happens.
One amendment though: heroic actions can be tiered, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like
3 lions, 2 lions, 1 lion.
No, I think we have to look. And if you save someone's life, that's the most number. You get 100 points for that. Cricketing actions should be capped at 5 relative to saving someone's life off the field. So what we really want
is to take someone's life in the villainous category.
Yeah, arrested for drug smuggling.
I think the Stuart McGill.
The Stuart McGill Award.
I think, we'll figure that out. We'll workshop that a little bit.
Okay,
okay.
A bit of data into the
structure. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, join if you want to be a part of judging that. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/thecricketpod. I'm sure that will be a fun discussion as we go through the series. Final. Did you do everything, Max? I think you summarised everything, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, that is everything.
Yep. Right. We want to do score lines. We're going to have 2 picks each. We'll do the snake and we'll snake back to finish things off. Max, your most likely scoreline first.
I'm going 4-1 Australia.
Oh, it's a beatdown.
It's going to be a 4-1 that could be a 2-all, 3-2 either way, but just ends up scoreline wise being 4-1. That's where I see it going.
Okay. Roscoe.
3-2
most likely scoreline. 3-2 England. Why have you? Do you understand how drafts work?
You could have saved that for your second pick, Ross, because no one's going for.
I'm not going to pick 3-2 England, am I?
All right, fine. All right, you've taught me out. 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2. That's going to be my
wow.
I genuinely think England are actually going to be competitive. I don't. Maybe this because I've not.
I also think that, and I also think they're going to lose 4-1.
Yeah, I genuinely think. Yeah. I think some of the Australians are actually over the hill this time. I think England are going to be in a decent position. I think England are going to rack up at least 2 wins. They'll win the first test. Like, it's all going to go gravy. 2-2 is what I'll go first. Yeah.
Based on that, then I'm going to go 3-2 England as my first pick.
Excellent. That's just great podcasting. That's great content.
And then for my second pick, I'm going to go 3-1 Australia.
Oh, the draw. Is that a weather draw?
I think there'll be a weather draw. Or one of the drop-in pitches will sort of fail a bit. It's like this does happen occasionally, doesn't it? And
the day-nighter can be a complete write-off, can't it? So a bit of a game. All right, so you genuinely taking 3-2?
Yeah. I don't think that's. It's not one of the 2 scores, I think, but like you say, I can't not take that off the table now. If it happens, it will be a legendary podcast moment that will probably propel us to stardom. So,
all right, I'm going to do 3-1 England then.
Ross, that is so optimistic.
3-1 England. Oh,
we took 3-2 off the table. We took 3-2 off the table.
Yeah, no, I know. Right. I mean, like, go on.
Well, I guess I'll finish off with 3-2 Australia. Since that's still
so
there.
Nobody.
So I was going to go for 5-0 England when Ross went for 3-2 Australia to make the sensible pick, but he didn't, so I didn't have to.
Everyone
I
here
have
thinks
done all eggs in the Aussie
win a
bowl.
test.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks that 4-0, 5-0 are one of the more likely options.
I mean, 4-0 or 5-0 would have been what I'd gone for next. Had 3-2.
I would have gone.
I maybe should have done that anyway.
If Ross hadn't started talking about England winning, and I hadn't convinced him not to make that prediction, I would have gone. My other prediction would have been 4-0. I'd have gone 3-1 and 4-0.
No. I can't see England not winning a test. I think they are
Mm.
quite good at cricket, and Australia have weaknesses.
Quite
Australia
an array
lost
of
tests
squad.
at home to West Indies. Like,
They did. That is the thing that happened. They put India away pretty comfortably last year.
yeah, there were moments though, weren't there?
Yeah,
India
I
won
also
the
think
first one.
Hazelwood
There were
being out, and
moments-
Cummins being out. Cummins will be lucky to play 3 test matches. Hazelwood the same. That is huge. And when Doggett gets banned for 3 games for being such a villain, like they're going to be stuck.
Banned from all forms of cricket forever.
All right. Well, look,
I
that's
can't
the
wait
end of the
to see what he
prediction
does.
show. If you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. What do you think the scoreline will be and why? We're interested to hear from our fans there. If you want to talk with us more directly, head over to our Discord, which you can join if you are a Patreon, patreon.com/thecricketpod. It's Ashes season. The next time you hear from us will be after some cricket has taken place, probably around lunchtime. After in the UK, obviously, it would be bizarre if we did it at lunchtime Australian time, wouldn't it? After the first day's play.
3
Thanks
a.m.
very much for listening. Goodbye, everyone.